Preserving a 3,000-year oral legal tradition across a scattered diaspora requires a highly engineered mechanism of mass transmission. When a population disperses geographically, its legal code naturally splinters into distinct regional interpretations. To prevent this fracture, the legal scholars of the post-Mishnaic era, known as the Amoraim, built an academic engine designed to synchronize the dispersed nation. They established an architectural solution known as the Yarkei Kallah, or the Kallah months, a synchronized system of decentralized study and mass assembly. During the Amoraitic period, this system matured into the primary mechanism for stabilizing Jewish jurisprudence in the centuries following the publication of the Mishnah. The Babylonian yeshivot functioned as a coordinated machine, continuously generating objective legal consensus across a rapidly expanding diaspora. The Kallah months operated as a sophisticated judicial architecture that established Babylon as a global capital of Jewish law. Following renewed persecutions in the Roman-controlled Galilee, the nexus of Jewish intellectual authority migrated east to Sasanian Babylon. Here, a window of relative political stability allowed scholars to construct institutional centers on a massive scale. Positioned at the delta where the Tigris and Euphrates rivers meet, this arid landscape became the new cradle of jurisprudence. Two great academies emerged as the defining pillars of the system, Sura and Pumbedita. These were supreme courts of monumental scale, explicitly designed to process tens of thousands of participants. This specific combination of geographic isolation and political security provided the exact conditions required to execute a rigorous, synchronized 30-year academic cycle. The mechanics of this system are detailed in ancient texts like Mishnah Rabbi Natan, which outlines a precise 6-month rhythm of study. Before dismissing an assembly, the Rosh Yeshiva selects a specific tractate for the upcoming term. Scholars return to their cities. For 5 months, the diaspora studies that exact text, cross-referencing traditions and compiling legal proofs at the local level. Every hypothesis undergoes severe intellectual stress testing in local study halls, filtering out weak arguments before they can reach the central academy. This schedule also integrated the broader public. Merchants and tradesmen studied the assigned tractate during their working months alongside full-time scholars. The objective was exhaustive preparation. By the time the next assembly convened, every participant arrived armed for a high-level public intellectual crucible. By repeating this 6-month cycle, the academies processed the entire multi-volume corpus of the oral law over a span of exactly 30 years. The sages leading this effort were categorized as the Amoraim, literally translated as the speakers, who publicly debated these prepared traditions. This preparation phase effectively transformed the Babylonian diaspora into a massive, decentralized research laboratory. Then came the climax, the months of Elul and Adar. These were the Yarkei Kallah, the specific windows when the diaspora converged on the central academies. The regional economy paused. Tens of thousands of people put down their trades and traveled to Sura and Pumbedita for a full month of continuous assembly. The vast decentralized network of study collapsed into a single location, representing a massive demographic shift twice a year. Inside the great halls, they engaged in what the texts refer to as the War of Torah. Every local conclusion was brought forward and relentlessly challenged. A strict spatial hierarchy organized the floor. Elite sages sat in designated rows, while thousands of students and citizens filled the surrounding space to listen and engage. These sessions were active arenas of fierce intellectual combat, designed to extract objective truth through rigorous public dispute. The term Kallah translates to bride. It serves as a metaphor for the profound covenantal relationship between the people and the law. Gathering the nation to focus entirely on legal study was a deliberate, recurring reenactment of the original revelation at Mount Sinai. Where Sinai featured a vertical descent of the law from above, the Yarkei Kallah achieved a horizontal assembly of the people from across the earth. By uniting tens of thousands of people in a single location, the Kallah months generated the broad consensus needed to transform academic debate into binding law. Over decades, these mass assemblies served as an institutional filtration system, authenticating the vast oral traditions passed down from previous generations. Every verified proof, rejected argument, and finalized decree from these sessions was meticulously recorded, forming the textual foundation of the Gemara. The Babylonian Talmud holds supreme legal authority precisely because it represents the consensus of the largest, most synchronized demographic assembly in Jewish history. Other texts, like the Jerusalem Talmud, were compiled under the duress of Roman persecution and lacked this scale of demographic synchronization. The Babylonian Talmud remains the definitive legal authority because it was the final document forged by a unified nation, utilizing human rational agency to agree upon the law.